I love the Dragon Age series. Oh really? I couldn't fucking tell. It is my favourite game series, and I encourage anyone who enjoys fantasy RPGs to try the games for themselves. However, as expected of a game series with 3 games, 11 comics, 6 novels, 2 lore books, 1 mobile game, 1 film, 1 web series, a goddamn tabletop RPG, and another game on the way, it can be a bit daunting for new players to try and get into the series, and watching an entire video going over the history and purpose of a particular race or faction isn't the most alluring thing for a new fan trying to get into the series. Now don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with these types of videos. I watch them all the time when my knowledge on a particular subject is lacking, and if anything I show you here interests you, I highly recommend you go check them out for yourself. But I recently spoke to a friend of mine who wanted to get into the series for the first time with a little bit of prior knowledge, but these videos didn't engage him at all or use terminology that he wasn't familiar with. Taint, Magister, Tevinter, Kunari, Maybari, Ferelden, Elven, Orzammar. Are you getting this? So that gave me the idea for this channel in this video format. I want to make short comedic videos going over the basic idea of a race, faction or aspect of the Dragon Age universe, and if any of that interests you or you start the game and find you need a little bit more knowledge before jumping right into the deep end, I highly recommend you check out one of the channels I mentioned about 15 seconds ago. The description will always contain links to these channels. Now without further ado, let me introduce you to one of the most horrifying races within the Dragon Age universe that you will encounter in every game thus far. The Darkspawn. In the world of Thedas, which literally stands for the Dragon Age setting, I'm not kidding by the way, that's literally the official reason it's called that, and I find that hilarious. Anyway, in the world of Thedas, the Darkspawn are a huge threat, and the easiest way to describe them is to call them fucking zombies. That is the most straightforward way to get you on board if you've never heard of them. Sure, they use weapons, magic, and armor, but zombies is the quickest way to get you up to speed. Get cut, bitten, or ingest some of their blood? You will turn sickly pale, withering away as the corruption destroys you from the inside out, and within a few hours you will eventually turn into a ghoul, aiding the Darkspawn horde in their endeavours. Unless of course you're a player character in one of these games. Jesus Christ! This used to be called the Taint, or being tainted. Can't imagine why it's not called that anymore. But now it's referred to as the Blight, which can be very confusing for reasons I'll make evident a bit later. In the Dragon Age series there are also many races you can play as and interact with, and each race looks wildly different when they become a Darkspawn. Humans become the default grunts called Hurlocks, they're fairly boring. Elves become Shrieks, whose only goal in life is to jump scare you in the fucking deep roads. They also become these Emissaries, which are mages that have a weird fascination with floating. Just walk for fuck's sake. Dwarves become Genlocks, which are these tiny little Darkspawn that are the least intimidating, and I always find them to be a little bit cute. Ah, look at the little Darkspawn, you're terrifying, yes you are. And Kunari, who are these tall horned humanoids that I will get to in a future video, become ground-quaking ogres. Who's a big boy? Also, being infected isn't the only way a Darkspawn is created. There is a slightly more horrifying way. But I won't spoil that for you. But if you end up playing Dragon Age Origins, as soon as you're able to, please head to the dwarven city of Orzammar. I'm not sorry for what you'll find there.
Us and eat some from meat. Third day, the men are all gnawed on again. Fourth day, we wait and fear for our fate.
The Darkspawn mainly stay underground, and they're only really a threat to the Dwarven Kingdom or those who venture underground for whatever reason. They're constantly roaming and searching in these underground caverns for something known as an old god. An old god is an ancient and powerful creature in the form of a dragon, and when the Darkspawn find it, they spread the blight to it and corrupt it to make it become an archdemon. Once that process is complete, the archdemon becomes the leader of the Darkspawn, and they become a kind of hive mind. They become smarter, stronger, and more organized than usual. They all gather and fight their way to the surface, slaughtering and corrupting everything they come into contact with. When this happens, it's known as a blight. If you're confused, that's normal, because the word blight refers to the infection, the event in which an old god rises and the Darkspawn fight their way to the surface, and it's often used as a swear word by the inhabitants of Thedas. Why can't they just say fuck? The only way to stop a blight is to kill an archdemon, after which the Darkspawn will flee back into the underground and begin their search for an old god anew. But killing an archdemon is really fucking hard. They're these giant all-powerful creatures surrounded by legions of Darkspawn. And since they're a hive mind and can relay information to each other on a whim, it's even harder to even get to it. But it's not impossible. At the start of the series, there have already been 4 blights that have been stopped thanks to the people of Thedas. But the problem is that they were all centuries apart in different corners of the known world, so you can't predict where the Darkspawn are going to prop up. And even worse is that there's no cure for the blight. The infection, not the event. It affects all biological matter. People, plants, animals. If it lives, it can carry the blight. So you could be miles away from the blight, the event, not the infection. And suddenly a sick-looking bird will just fly down, peck you on the ankle, and then fuck off again, and then, uh-oh, you gotta start calling yourself Starset because you're infected. This means that after you've defeated the archdemon and forced the Darkspawn back into their holes and had a chance to catch your breath, you still have to worry about the trees, the animals, and the dead bodies that carry the blight. Just because the archdemon is dead doesn't mean you can't get infected, which means that after a blight, the blight is still a massive threat. See, that's confusing. Why the fuck? Now I bet you're wondering, how did the blight start? Well, that's the fucking problem. Nobody knows, both in-game and in real life. Except for the people at BioWare, of course. Tell me your secrets! Seriously, the collective knowledge of this entire fandom, and all we have are vague theories ranging from God got angry one day and decided to infect the world to it definitely didn't come from space, we swear. The Darkspawn are one of Thedas' biggest threats. They're monstrous, unending, unfeeling, and downright disturbing to look at sometimes. Oh my god! Thedas will never be safe so long as these creatures exist. And when something as trivial as a scratch can mean the death of your greatest warrior, how are the people of Thedas supposed to combat this threat? They need a group who can fight the Horde without reservation and without fear of infection. They need the Grey Wardens. Thank you all for watching my video. I really appreciate it. This is my first time trying something like this and working with this kind of equipment, so I'm a little bit inexperienced. I intend to make videos of this nature fairly regularly. I'm hoping for once every fortnight, or even sooner if I get good enough at editing. And I'd like to know from you guys what I did right with this and what I did wrong. I'm hoping to make these sorts of videos to give minor spoilers and just general information to help new people get into the fandom, because I love this game series, I love this fandom. I've met so many great people through this fandom, and the games have given me so much entertainment over the years that I just want to give a bit of that enjoyment to someone else. And if one of these videos can get even one person into the series, then I'll be happy with it. The next video is obviously about the Grey Wardens, and they are without a doubt my favourite faction, so I'm really excited to get to work on that. So stay tuned if you want to see that one. Before I go, I just want to say a massive thank you to Jackdaw, who over the past few months has been an absolute inspiration for me creating this channel and trying my hand at these videos. He's been giving me so much information and help on thumbnails, channel art, just general information, and I would not be here without him, so thank you, Jackdaw, truly. And just as the video is about to pander out here, I'll show off some of the bloopers from my recording session, because there were a lot of takes, because I am what is known here in Australia as an idiot. The Darkspawn... Hello, buddy. Ugh. You want to record with me? Are you my buddy? You look at the camera? You guys aren't supposed to be in here. What am I doing with my arms? I feel weird. I need to be doing something, but I feel like just pointing at the camera, just fucking sitting here and just going, I'm gonna have a drink because it's fucking hot. Welcome to Australia, where the temperature is at least boiling. And I'm self-conscious about what I wear, so I decided to wear fucking jeans and a long-sleeve shirt on a fucking Monday. It's Tuesday, what am I talking about? Fuck. The only way to stop a blight is to kill the archdemon, after which the Darkspawn will all flee, going back into the underground to begin the search anew for another dick. So that gave me the idea for this channel. Fucking shit. Now, without further ado... Fuck am I pointing at? Fuck you, light. You're blinding me. That's not an exaggeration. Goldos are fucking bright. They also become these emissaries, which are elven mages. Who's a big boy? I don't... Why do I just get... Why do I find that so funny? Just screaming, who's a big boy at the fucking green screen. Oh my god, I have brain damage. But killing an archdemon is really fucking... Oh. But it isn't impossible. At the start of the series, there have already been 4 blights that have been stopped thanks to the people of Thedas.